Hey everybody, welcome to Turnip for What? The exclusive turnip farming podcast found here on the internet, where we teach you how to farm turnips and maybe some other stuff too.
No, just turnips.
No, we're gonna... Listen, Ryan.
No.
Turnip for What has been going on for a year now.
Yep.
And we've pretty much said everything there is to do about turnips. We do this podcast for 4 hours twice a week. I've said everything there is to say about turnips at this point.
No, turnips are a majestic vegetable.
I'm not saying they're not.
We need to devote more time to turnips.
I cannot imagine a scenario in which we devote more time to turnip. Because in our free time, we are professional turnip farmers.
That's true.
The fact that we have 4 hours twice a week to do this is a freaking miracle.
I mean, sometimes you just need to put in more than 8 hours a week for turnips.
All I'm saying...
I think you're letting turnips down here.
It's not about me. It's bigger than me. It's bigger than you. It's bigger than the turnips, is what I'm trying to say.
There's nothing bigger than turnips.
No,
nothing.
All I'm saying is that I have people come to my farm, and they say, hey, Farmer Nick, do you have anything besides turnips? We're hoping to get some sweet potatoes. And I said, no, I don't.
Get out. Turnips.
And then I realized, I thought about it for a second, and I was like, sweet potatoes are probably not that much harder to grow than turnips. And maybe we should share that with our podcasting audience.
No. We can't let them know.
That there's something besides turnips?
Yes, there's only turnips. It's the only...
I think they may have figured that out by now.
No, nobody knows. There's only turnips.
I think by virtue of that's a logical fallacy. By virtue of the fact that we're admitting that there's a podcast only about turnips, we're also admitting that it's possible to have a podcast not about turnips.
I don't agree with any of this. This is Bear versus Mancast. Actually.
Is it? I really wonder sometimes.
It is.
It's like it's a weird thing where it's like an undercover cop is undercover for so long he just forgets who he is and he's not a cop anymore. He's just a straight up drug lord or whatever. That's what just happened to me.
Yeah.
I thought I was a turnip farmer.
No.
Like I legit forgot that you and I every Wednesday talk about video games for like an hour and news and how we feel about it and also what we played this week.
Yeah. Your name's Nick. We play video games. My name's Ryan. This is a podcast about video games.
And also about nothing.
About nothing. You can't make us have a focus.
It's April 15th.
I thought you were about to say it was April
also known
Fool's
as
Day.
Mewtwo Day.
It is Mewtwo Day.
I mean, I don't have a Mewtwo yet.
I do.
I'm not mad. Like I've just been refreshing my email this entire time waiting for a Mewtwo, but like I'm not mad.
You're mad.
I'm not like I'm just like if anything, I'm just jealous that you have a Mewtwo and I don't.
I do. I used it.
Yeah, you played as him
for like 1 minute.
Did it feel good?
Yeah, it felt fine.
Did it feel cathartic that you finally? Where'd they put him on the roster menu? The roster menu.
He's right next to Sonic, on the bottom.
So they did fill. They started filling in those rows. And everyone's like, "Oh, they're going to fill those in with DLC." And Nintendo's like, "What?"
And Nintendo's like, "Nah, we ain't
us." And it's like, "Yeah, you guys are going to put in DLC."
So I mean, yeah, if that's the case, I'm going to look at this real quick. Hold on, I'm going to look at this select screen.
He updated the 3DS version first.
I did because my Wii U is in my other room. So,
oh yeah.
So if you include Lucas, they have space for 3 more characters on here.
Solid Snake confirmed.
I fucking miss Snake like every day. He was like one of my favorite characters in Brawl.
Yeah, well, go talk to
Kojima.
Not Hideo
not
Kojima because he doesn't work. He might not even own the rights to Snake anymore. I don't actually know how that works.
I don't think he does. I think Konami owns that IP legally, which is why. Because they talked about making other Metal Gear games after Kojima left.
They didn't talk about making them. They said, we're definitely going to make it.
Right, so they must own the rights to that.
they basically were just like, they're like, yeah, Kojima, yeah, definitely, you're right, we should stop right now. And then he's just like, all right, I'm going to go get a drink of water. And they're like, we're not going to stop right now.
We're never stopping.
No way.
We're never stopping.
Those games make money. We're not stupid.
Those games print money.
I think you're exaggerating. I
think I am too.
I really don't think they sell that many copies. I mean, at least maybe not in I almost called it Jamaica.
That's where it's sold.
It sells a lot in Jamaica.
Metal Gear Solid 5 exclusive to Jamaica. Jamaica only release.
They'll have to localize it eventually, right?
Sure. Yeah.
Fucking Jamaicans.
Yeah.
Before we talk about what we played this week, I wanted to bring up a quick talking point.
No.
Okay, so digital games versus games on disc.
Okay.
What are you thinking? How does that make you feel?
I've had a change of heart recently.
Are you team digital or are you team disc?
Right now, okay, what platform am I on? Because that matters.
Well, I want to talk... Okay, so let's say Xbox One.
Okay, digital. Done.
So here's the crazy thing that I didn't know until like 2 days ago.
What?
You know how you have to install a game?
Yep.
Like you buy a game on a disc, you
Yep.
put in your Xbox One, it says, hold on, let me install this real quick.
Yep.
That install file is the exact same size as a digital download file.
You didn't know that? I could have told you that.
Why didn't you tell me that?
Probably because you didn't ask.
I feel hurt and betrayed.
Okay.
That's the craziest thing ever, bro.
It's the same thing on the PS4. Pretty much all you're doing is you're using a disc as a it's like a DRM thing at that point.
Yeah, it basically just checks to see if
you still have the game. Yeah.
So, is there a particular system that you'd still go disc for?
Wii U sometimes.
Yeah, I feel like the Wii U and the 3Ds probably don't necessarily have the memory space for you to download all your games.
Well, I mean, Wii U, you can play stuff off of an external, and that's fine.
Yeah, but then I have to buy an external.
I have an external hooked up to every console except for PS4, which I swapped the hard drive for. So, I mean, whatever.
My strategy for the PS4 is just don't use it.
Oh,
and then
okay.
That way I don't have to put more hard drive space in it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
I have like a 2 terabyte external for my Xbox One. So
yeah, me too.
So like I'm thinking about getting GTA 5 for the Xbox One, and like
I keep thinking about getting a HD version of that.
I'm looking at like it's still full price, and it's like, well, I could download it and not have to switch discs constantly, or like get a disc version and just be the biggest pain in my butt.
I think with the disc version of that, it'll work the same way where you install both discs, and then
It's still on is it still on 2 Blu-rays?
You know what? I don't know. I bet you it is.
Because I know the HD version, the PC version, it came out on 7 DVDs.
So if those are like the big DVDs, which I think are 15 gigabytes, I think
it's still only 1 Blu-ray. I never heard otherwise.
Well, I mean, Blu-rays are max 50 gigabytes, so...
You're max 50 gigabytes.
Yeah, probably. So yeah, math-wise, or for the UK listeners...
Get that shit out of here.
For the UK listeners, maths. So that's 105 gigabytes, which is definitely two Blu-rays.
Your 2 Blu-rays.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know.
So I'm actually considering, knowing this, like part of me wants to wait for Destiny to go on sale a lot.
Yep. And
just buy a digital license for it, so I never have to put the disc in it.
That sounds pretty great. Yeah.
Like if it goes on sale, like it's like cost $10. I'm like, I'll pay $10 and never have to switch discs for Destiny again, because I already have like it's taking up such a shitload of space on my hard drive right now.
Yep.
It's just the craziest thing. Here's what they should do.
Okay,
right.
I'm ready.
Microsoft, Sony, you guys listening?
Hi, this is Microsoft, Sony. We're listening.
Microsoft, Sony, reporting in. When I buy a disc, I should be able to, like, I understand, like, there's a whole thing about, like, the always online, no sharing games thing that everyone freaked out about. But just give us the option. So, like, if I put a disc in there, it'd be like, you know what? I want you to just make this disc only work for me. or like just transfer the license on this disc to my Xbox Live account.
Yeah.
And then only I can play this game.
That'd be great.
And I'm fine with that. And then I can put that disc into the box and put it on my shelf forever.
I would do that. Yeah,
because I don't really share games.
No. I'm a
like
selfish whore.
The whole hubbub about the always online Xbox One thing was going on. Like, they announced it, and I just sat there like, yeah, sure. All right.
I mean, yeah, I wasn't that affected by it, really. It was like, whatever. I don't share games.
Yeah, it was like, that's kind of weird, and I can see how it might not benefit certain groups of people who aren't always online.
I mean,
but
the other part...
I have broadband internet connection. I've got, like, AC router just blasting through my, like, 700 square foot apartment 24 hours a day. I don't care. Always online. Let's do it.
Always online. Let's party. Are the new consoles AC, or are they just N? I don't even...
They're still N.
That sucks.
Yeah.
I think my iPhone 6 is the only thing in my house that's AC
your
compatible.
MacBook probably isn't.
No,
the
my
newer ones, even the less newer ones, like the new MacBooks are.
My MacBook is like pushing 5 or maybe even 6 years old at this point.
Yeah, it's not. I mean, you knew it wasn't.
You know what sucks big bags of dicks?
Please tell me.
I will tell you. So I was like almost going to be in the market for a new laptop last year. And then I was like, oh, cool. I should probably do that. And then so I was looking around and I'm like, these new MacBooks don't seem to improve much over what I have. So I looked at the benchmarks between like a 2014 MacBook Pro and a 2009 MacBook, which is what I have. It's like pretty much the same.
Yeah, but you don't want to spend another $2,000 to get a new computer that's pretty much the same as the old one?
Yeah, I don't want to do that.
I have a secret for you.
What is it? Tell Brian.
It's The Secret. It's that audiobook book series with the... This is The Secret.
Okay, this is the secret.
You don't have to buy a Mac.
Yeah, I keep thinking about that, and I'm like...
I'm just saying it's an option.
I keep thinking about that, and I keep thinking about how...
Don't you install Windows on it anyways?
Yeah, I do. See, that's the other. That's the other. The only thing I hate about that is that, about like Windows laptops is they come with all this fucking bloatware every time, and like they don't give you a clean OS install with like a motherboard thing.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Laptops, that is a problem.
You know what I mean? And so, like, I don't know. It's just a big bummer. Everything's a bummer. And then I'm like, well, fucking laptops are dumb. So, who cares?
Yeah. I mean, I don't use a laptop ever.
I use it sometimes. I can't really say that they're dumb.
If you didn't already have an iPad mini, I would say Surface Pro 3, dude.
I don't think they're good enough as, like...
You have to spend a bunch of money to make them really good.
Yeah, fuck that.
But they're all flash, and the keyboard and everything is nifty, and it runs like the desktop version of Windows 8. So, but you already have a tablet, so it's kind of like not worth it.
I mean, my dad kind of wants that. And
it's pretty cool.
And I might... I mean my iPad, and I might sell it to him for money. Who knows? I don't know. Anyway,
you know that does he know that there's stores for that?
Yeah, he probably doesn't want to buy a new one because he doesn't really need a new one.
There are stores for that too.
Yeah, I know. He's dumb. Anyway, video games.
Yeah, all right. I don't really want to talk about video games today.
Okay, that's fine.
I played like a couple of games this week. I don't really have much to say about it.
Let's talk about the circus instead.
I have even less to say about the circus. This is not a good idea.
Okay, so video games then.
All right, yeah. Well, I have more games than you do. So
I have 2.
Let's go first.
I have 2.
You said we had 1.
No, I told you, and then I immediately corrected myself, and I said, Nick, I apologize. I have 2 games this week.
Oh, great. What's the game that I forgot you played?
Hearthstone.
Oh, yeah. That doesn't count. We already talked about that game.
Yeah, we actually haven't talked about Hearthstone at all on this podcast. How dare you?
At all is an exaggeration.
Okay, sure.
We did talk about when Black Rock Mountain made news.
Oh, yeah. No, but
Have you been playing Black Rock Mountain?
A little bit. I did that thing recently. By recently, I mean this past week I finished. I like to, you know how you get a new card back when you get to rank 20 in in competitive play. So every month, I do a back to back. So like I should say every 2 months because that's how long it takes. I do the end of 1 month, get to rank 20, and then I roll over into the new rank season, and then I do it again. So I only have
solid plan.
I only have to play Hearthstone like once every 2 months, realistically, and I get 2 card backs, which is nice. So I did that, and then I played some Blackrock Mountain, which is fine, I guess.
I'm not sure I fully understand your logic of being like, oh, hey, I like this game enough to want to have card backs, but I don't want to have to play it more than once every 2 months.
See, that's the thing, is that's all I do.
And that does, I mean, do you consider that to be telling in some way?
No,
that maybe you don't care about Hearthstone?
No, I consider that to be, this is the time where I play Hearthstone, and I get enough of it because I play it for like a week. Mm-hmm. You know, it takes me like 3 days or so to get to rank 20 just because of time. So, whatever. I play that game for a week every 2 months. That sounds pretty good.
Yeah, no, that's all right. I do like that game a lot.
Yeah, I know you have problems with it.
I have problems with it, and I wind up really not playing it because there's so many games for me to play. Mm-hmm. But I love card games. Mm-hmm. I don't necessarily like playing against other people.
Yeah.
But at the same time, the adventure mode, I feel like it's a waste of time. There's no pleasing me. There's no pleasing.
There is no pleasing you. But
they're just like, Blizzard is just like, hey Nick, do you want some? You hungry? I'm like, yeah, I'm really hungry. Blizzard's like, you want some meatloaf? I don't like meatloaf. All right, do you want macaroni and cheese? I don't like macaroni and cheese.
Yeah.
Blizzard's like, all right, listen, you little shit. You want some apple pie? We're gonna go right to dessert. Is that what you want?
Listen, you fuck.
No, I don't like apple pie.
Yeah.
And then Blizzard just beats the shit out of me.
Yeah, pretty much. That sounds like
it's full-on domestic abuse.
Yeah.
Although it's out on phones now. I'm playing on my iPhone. If there was any room on my iPhone to do that with, it's like 786 megabytes, which doesn't sound like a lot, but I've been dwindling at like between 250 megabytes remaining and 0 megabytes remaining for like the past year. So that's not going to happen.
Wait, how many megabytes is it?
Like 786.
I was going to say because like the iPad version is over a gigabyte, and I thought you said like 186, and I'm like, how the fuck they do that?
Dude, I wish I would make room for 186. That is doable.
Yeah, you got to get a new phone, dude.
I'm going to get a new phone when my contract is up, and they announce new ones, and I'm definitely, I'm going for the larger size.
Yeah, you have
especially
to.
Especially if the larger size, there's like only one larger size, and it's just $100 extra. Definitely all in on 64 gigabytes.
I can't even remember. Is this the one where they eliminated 32 and you can go from 16 to 16 to 64? Is that
it's 16? It's 16 to 64, which is what you told me on this podcast like 4 weeks ago.
Yeah, okay, but that's fine. I told you.
Well, okay. You're the one who told me about it, so I'm just going off of what. All I'm saying is I have a very unreliable source that told me that it's 16 and 64 now.
This fucking Ryan asshole doesn't know shit about stuff. Yeah,
they might change it. They might change it because they don't know. Like, I don't know if they're doing the 6 plus bullshit again or.
Oh, who knows?
You know, I'm really hoping that they're just like, listen, this is our phone. If you want it, buy it. If you don't want it, I don't care.
Yeah, at this point, if I only had to get a 5.5-inch iPhone, I wouldn't get an iPhone. Like, if that was the only option.
The only option was the 6 plus one?
Yeah. Like, if 7...
Well, they're not going to do that.
If the 7 is 5.5 inches, I will just get a not iPhone. Or I'll just keep my phone forever. Who cares? Yeah.
They'll always have an option. They'll like do like a 5C type bullshit thing. Like, they'll do something.
I guess.
Now that they've gone to multiple models, as much as I want them to go back to one, they're not going to go back to one.
Yeah.
Oh, but man, this podcast is really about nothing.
We're fulfilling that quotient of, you know.
That was just like, Ryan, we need like a tagline of some kind. Just like, I don't know, like I'm gonna call it the Video Game Podcast About Nothing. And it's like, Ryan, I wrote it down. It's on the website. What do I do? It's like, I don't know, just leave it. All right. Well, I did it.
Fucking leave it.
I did it. We are officially the lucky star of video game podcasts.
That's it. Yeah.
Do you have anything to say about Hearthstone that hasn't already been said?
It's a fine game that is totally pay to win.
All right. Perfect. I agree.
Yep.
I wish I had like a gavel to bang.
We should get one.
All right.
We should get it, and then
And also, can we get a gong too?
a sex gong?
I could just get all these. Yeah, well, I think you have one of those already.
I don't know.
It's a very tiny one.
I don't know where it is, but you gave it to me when we watched Scrubs.
Scrubs.
Yeah.
I just need to figure out how to integrate sound effects into this whole thing.
Yeah.
A gavel and a gong and a DJ air horn. It'd be awesome.
Yeah. It's called. You take your iPhone and then you hold it up to the microphone.
That doesn't work good.
Okay.
I want it to sound good. I will just add it in post.
Yeah. Exactly.
You're good for that, right?
No.
Hey, so I played.
What'd you play?
Dark Souls 2, Scholar of the First Sin some more.
Again?
Yeah, but the last we spoke, it had come out like 24 hours prior to recording.
That's true.
So, I like that game.
Okay.
I've decided I'm happy with the changes that they've made. At first, it just seemed weird and foreign, and I didn't know how to play because I was too used to playing Bloodborne.
Yep.
The thing about Bloodborne is that I know it's like a Souls game, so it's like clunky and slow and whatever and deliberate.
Mm-hmm.
That game's snappy. Like, your dude
Bloodborne
dodges. Yeah.
Yeah.
Your dude dodges like a champion. And people were freaking out. You wouldn't remember anything about this, but people were freaking out in early gameplay footage where people could see that the whole not locked on, you roll, and then when you lock on, you do a sidestep thing.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
People saw that in early game footage, and the hardcore fans were like freaking out. They thought it was like the end of everything. It's like, all right, well, we can't lock on this game. That's fine. We'll never lock on because we need to have our roll. You don't need that shit at all. Like the dodging, the locked on dodging is so snappy and so like you get so many invincibility frames and there's no factors slowing it down. There's no fat roll. There's no equip load. There's nothing like that. Like it's so snappy. And then I played Dark Souls 2 and I feel like I'm playing underwater. And I eventually got used to it. And I obviously started using a shield again. I found a shield that I'm used to finding that has 100% physical reduction. And I've been doing great ever since. I've been playing with my friends too. One of which he's never played any Dark Souls games before.
Uh-oh.
So the way we've been playing, it's crazy because you can play that game two very, very different ways.
How?
Like you can go into that game and be like, you don't look anything up. You just stumble in there blindly. You don't know where anything is. You don't know what an Estus flash shard is. You just go in there and potentially get your butt kicked. And maybe you join the Covenant of Champions because you don't know any better. And then all enemies do triple damage.
Yeah.
Which is a thing that happens to people.
Oh, that's not good.
There's a Covenant that intentionally just makes the game harder.
Oh, yeah, that.
And people can join that, like, unintentionally and not really, if they're not paying attention to the little hints that they're just like, hey, like they just drop very subtle hints. Just like, hey, only the strongest and most sturdy of players should conduct themselves in the Covenant, whatever. If you're not paying attention to that, you just do it. And then suddenly everything's kicking your ass and you go, oh, Dark Souls games are hard, so this is just supposed to happen.
Yeah, yeah.
Or you could play so you can just kind of throw yourself in there and like kind of just get stomped out all the time, have no idea what's going on, and just press on, and like every corner you don't know what's there, and you don't know treasure chests, where the treasure chests are or what's in them, and blah, 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 where the bosses are. Or you can just look everything up. You can play exclusively with people, which is easier. It's not as easy as Bloodborne, because it doesn't have the password system, but it has a system where you can wear a particular ring that lets you worship a particular god, and then everyone who's worshiping the same god as you are the only people that you'll see when you're matchmaking, when you're looking for people's signs and things like that.
Oh, sure.
And it also makes it easier because there's a certain range. You can't just summon anyone. There's a certain range of like this person has to be the same relative strength as you in a system that is kind of shitty. But if you use that ring, it doesn't eliminate it, but it makes the berth so wide, it's like almost a non-issue if you're using that ring. So you can pretty much just like play with your friends. And so the way we've been playing it is we've just like, oh, hey, a boss? Well, let's just all summon in to one guy's game and go beat the crap out of him. And it removes all the challenge, but it's still fun.
Yeah, it's still
that's how I've been playing, and and I'm helping my friend who's never played before. We're helping him out, and we're telling him where to get items and stuff like that because he's never played the game before. But he hasn't
never
rage
played
quit yet.
a game before.
He's never played the game before.
Oh,
the other one I'm playing with, I played the original game with him, so we're experiencing it in a different way, being like, oh, where are these new items and where what's going on here?
Yeah.
Which is also a very unique experience. Is like going into a world that I thought I knew, but has changed in ways that I don't fully understand yet. Because a lot of it is still the same.
Yeah.
But then every once in a while they throw me a curveball, and that's a super interesting experience. But at the same time, there's certain important items that I just look up the location of because I need them and I want them.
Exactly. Yeah.
But certain items, certain other items are just like, yeah, whatever. I'll find them eventually. So this is this one character I'm playing as. He's been helping them out. They're approximately the same strength as them, so we're playing with him. But I made a couple other characters to do some different ways. I'm definitely gonna have at least one solo character and just play through the game again. But that, in due time. I only have so much time for video games every week.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah,
but that game is really good. That durability thing is still an issue, but for whatever reason, since I switched weapons, it's been much less of an issue.
Which weapon are you using?
I was using the standard halberd, and I've recently switched to using either the Murakumo, which is a curved greatsword, or also the Black Knight halberd. And maybe it's just because I've been kind of switching between them, but I haven't noticed the durability going down like crazy like the halberd had.
Yeah.
Although general consensus is there's something wrong with the durability in that game because it's inconsistent. I've also heard that if you swing your weapon at a dead body, it drains extra durability. Like not even it drains the same amount of durability as hitting a not dead body. It drains more than hitting a not dead body.
Oh, shit.
Which seems like a problem.
Yeah.
But for whatever reason, I haven't heard anything about like the developers saying like, "Oops, that's a glitch. We'll fix that." Which is inconsistent with some of the other stuff they've been doing. Like maybe it's because Bloodborne, it's not exactly the same developers. They're working with Sony Studios or whatever. What's that studio called?
I don't know. From?
No, I know From. Well, they're both From, but then Bloodborne was made in conjunction with these other guys that work for Sony.
Yeah.
Japan Studios.
Sure, yeah.
It's true.
Oh, okay.
But they acknowledged, like, every time there's, like, a problem or a glitch, they've immediately acknowledged it and said they're going to fix it. They said that a loading time patch is coming this month.
Oh, really?
But, oops, already done with that game.
Oh.
I'll go back to it eventually. But I got a lot of Dark Souls 2 to play first.
Yeah.
That game, the frame rate, the frame rate is, like, such a huge improvement. That game looks really good, and it is a good game. I still stand by what I said last week, and if you never played a Soul game before and you want to play a new one, play Bloodborne.
Yep.
Way more accessible and potentially more fun.
Ooh.
But Dark Souls 2 is a solid entry in the Soul series that fans of the series will definitely enjoy. And if you never played it before, I see no reason not to get the HD version. Although I heard the PC version is also very good. And it comes with all the DLC, which adds like at least an extra 10 hours of gameplay.
That's a lot.
Yeah, and that's a really lowballed estimate.
Yeah,
considering the only DLC I ever played for the first game was the Crown of the Sunken King, and my friend and I could not even beat it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and we threw at least like 5 or 6 hours into it, and we couldn't even beat like the second boss.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah. So it basically, all that stuff takes place after you. I mean, you can access it pretty much anytime you want, I think, but you pretty much shouldn't until you've beaten the game for the most part. Which, to its credit, Dark Souls 2 does it right. You do not get kicked into New Game Plus as soon as you finish the game, which is super annoying.
That's pretty fucked up that they do that.
The first game does that, and Bloodborne does that.
Yeah.
I think Demon Souls
probably
does not give you the option to go back. Dark Souls 2, they just said, fuck it, let's just... they want to add the DLC, and there's so much other stuff to do in that game.
Yeah.
They don't boot you to New Game Plus, which I particularly appreciate. Because it lets you just kind of explore the world and collect any items you missed. And
yeah.
It's cool.
Yeah, it's dope.
All right, I'm done.
Video games.
Video game. Do you want to talk about Titan Souls?
Yeah, I played another Souls game.
That doesn't count.
Oh, joke. Yeah.
I bought that game.
You should play it.
I was playing another game. I played Oceanhorn.
What?
Finally.
Remember,
but not for long enough, because that game's good.
Remember when I was like, hey, Nick, play that Oceanhorn game or else?
Yeah, I played it.
You did it. I'm proud of you.
I wanted to play it more. Like, I had to stop and go to bed, and I was, like, sad, because I wanted to keep playing it.
Fuck bed.
Is that, like, a type of bed?
Yeah, it's a fuck bed. It's the bed you fuck in.
Is it just a bed?
It's just a bed, but, like, it's reserved for fucking.
Oh, okay. People actually do that.
I bet.
Like, that's a thing. People will buy a bed that they sleep in and a bed that they don't sleep in.
You put the sexy sheets on and the and then
change them
because they're probably dirty. Anyway, Titan Souls is really great.
Really,
really great. I play.
True, you only get one arrow.
Yep. It works out totally fine because if you don't do it right, you're just gonna die anyway. So you don't need more than one.
That's awesome. So I heard it's more Shadow of the Colossus than like Dark Souls.
It's like it's a very happy marriage of the two. Remember last week? This might have been last week when I was like, I think the perfect Souls game would be if you took out all of the bullshit in between. This is that.
Huh.
And it's
2D and arrow shooting simulator.
Yeah, it's the same principle of you're in a centralized area. You can go a little bit of a way to fight a boss, and then just fight more bosses. There's no leveling up. There's no gear. There's no health. There's nothing.
That's probably for the best.
It's great. It's great.
You can just beat. So, like, technically, I know you can't fight the final boss, but theoretically,
yes,
you could just beat the final boss the way you come into the game.
Exactly. Yeah. Like, cool. You start off in an area with 4 bosses, and once you beat those, you end up in, like, this either wooded area or icy area, and it doesn't matter where you go.
That's cool.
Although I will say that the icy bosses are harder than the forest bosses, because I beat the forest bosses, but I can't beat any of the icy bosses because they're hard as fuck.
So you have to beat them all eventually.
Yeah, you have to beat them all. So
that's
I don't.
Cool.
It's dope as hell.
I'm glad I bought it because I bought it.
Yeah. It's
went all in. Because I've been hearing about that game since the original concept was created in like Ludum, like one of the Ludum Dares in like 2012.
Wasn't it like that? Wasn't it some kind of game jam game or something?
Yeah. Ludum Dare is like that huge game jam, and the principle was I think the theme, because they have a theme for every Ludum Dare. I think the theme was you only get one.
Oh, sure, that makes sense.
So they're like arrows.
You mean arrow?
Yes.
Yeah, no, that game is great, and I want to review it, even though spoilers. I think it's great. Yeah,
is great.
Is great. Yeah. So
I'm gonna play that game eventually.
I have this sneaking suspicion it's my next game of the year.
Hmm.
Although it's only April, so I can't say that for sure.
It's going to be hard to dethrone Bloodborne for me, dude.
I
thought about
bet.
it more. I thought about it more, and I was like, at first I thought I was just like saying, oh yeah, Bloodborne, it's the only game I played this year, so of course it's the game of the year. And I was like, dude, I really like that game a lot. That game was really good, and it's gonna be hard to beat it.
I took a break from Bloodborne this week.
Yeah, you should don't give up on it.
I might,
because that game is good. Whatever, I don't care.
I don't give a fuck about you. Whatever, I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, I definitely need to play Titan Souls.
Yep.
It's got controller support.
Oh, it encourages you to play with a gamepad.
Good. I was playing Oceanhorn, and for a second I thought it didn't have controller support, and I was like, "Fuck, I gotta just throw this shit in the garbage now."
That's how I feel about PC games that should have controller because fuck keyboard controls on anything but like a simulator or like
a city builder,
a strategy game, I guess.
Speaking of Oceanhorn, I'm just gonna talk real briefly about it because I didn't really play that game as much as I wanted to.
Oh.
So have you ever played the game before? Did
No.
you play it when it was on the iPad or whatever?
I saw Dan Reichert play it on GiantBomb.com.
Doesn't count.
Okay.
So I don't even need to explain it to you, but I need to explain it to everyone else. It's not just about you, Ryan.
No, it is.
So it was originally an iPad game, I believe, which I can't imagine playing this game on the iPad. Jesus, like,
yeah,
too many controls. This game has controls.
Sounds terrible.
So playing on the iPad, it'd be like, hey, here's a virtual little joystick thing. Oh, your finger moved too far off of it? Well,
kill
F
yourself.
You. So it's basically Zelda.
Uh-huh.
The Zelda game is the most like is probably Phantom Hourglass.
I could see that.
The way that it's like isometric, like that 3/4 view thing.
Yeah.
And the level design, or like the area design, is really cool because it's got this like layered effect to it. It's got this like kind of cool verticality. The 3/4 view allows you to like see depth. It's not just like top down, like Link to the Past. Like, oh, is that area lower than that other area? I can't really tell. The game really succeeds in that regard. I think it looks really good, considering it's a port of an iPad game. I'm not sure how good it looked on the iPad, but I've been playing on PC and it looks good.
I remember looking at that game being like, huh, that looks good.
It's like half cell shaded.
Yeah, it has an interesting art style from what I remember.
Yeah, it's like not it's cartoony, but it's not like it's not like Wind Waker looking like full blown cell shaded. It's a little bit more realistic than that.
Yeah.
But generally, I think that game seems really promising. You like level up, which is interesting. Like, you gain experience for killing monsters, and they also get like challenges, which are an interesting way. On each island, there's 3 challenges, which is an interesting way of like guiding your hand through it. So they mentioned, like, I went to Bomb Island, and it's like, oh hey, here's a challenge to beat the centipede inside the mines. And I was like, oh okay, well clearly there's a centipede inside the mines that I should go beat. Which, we're talking about Dark Souls before and the 2 different ways to play. Not every type of gamer will appreciate like having that guiding hand. Yeah. But I think I'm all right with it. I think it's cool. Like, kind of just knowing like, oh, I'm not done on this island yet. There's still challenges to do.
Yeah, that's pretty dope.
And those get you experience. And like, I got to level 3 one time, and they gave me some sort of gun for my boat.
Sweet.
Yeah, so the boating is not like Wind Waker. It's definitely more like Phantom Hourglass, where you don't trace your own path. You just pick where you're going, and your guy goes to it, and then you can control him a little bit in between. So that is functional. I can see how that'd be the only way to really do it if the game was on the iPad originally.
Yeah, I've never played any of the handheld DS Zelda, so I don't really know how that boat shit works.
I'm not. It doesn't really matter.
Okay.
Like, I'm just comparing it to something, but it's not like you won't get it if you haven't played Phantom Hourglass. In Phantom Hourglass, you drew a line on your map, and then your boat followed it. This one, you just pick where you're going, and your boat goes there.
Yeah.
It works. Whatever.
Okay.
It's not about the boat.
Sure.
I mean, that's probably better than Wind Waker style, where you're like physically like wasting your time, like changing the wind a little bit and like avoiding barrels.
Mm-hmm.
It's like fluff at a certain point. It also makes me wonder how long the game actually is, because it's an iPad port. Like, it seems like there's a bunch of islands. Like, I want to say, like, I found one island and it said I was 2% discovered.
Oh man, that sounds like
so it sounds
long
like
game.
It's kind of a lot, but I bet it's not as much as I think.
Mm-hmm.
You know what, I'm actually going to look it up because I'm curious. Go to my favorite website, howlongtobeat.com.
That's your favorite website?
Yeah, but you know, it's that sort of thing where it's like, what's your favorite food? You're like, well, I eat all kinds of food. I can't pick one favorite. It's like, do it. Pick one. Like, pizza. Gee, I'm sorry. Pizza.
Fuck. Pizza.
And it's like, pizza's your favorite food, but you'll eat whatever. Like, you don't actually.
Oh, god damn it.
What?
No, I'm reading World of Warcraft patch 6.2 PTR patch notes.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry if I wasn't saying anything interesting that you needed to read patch notes during.
No, it's just
5.5 hours. Oceanhorn is 5.5 hours.
That's a long game for iPad port.
Actually, what the? Okay, there are 2 entries here on howlongtobeat.com.
Uh-oh. Is one for the iPad version and one for the PC version? That might be a thing.
No.
Yeah. Maybe.
Somehow that's not the case.
Oh. Weird.
There's Oceanhorn Monster of Uncharted Seas and Oceanhorn Monster of Uncharted Seas.
Those were the same title.
Yep.
Ugh.
Yeah, no, I don't know.
I'm upset.
It says, like, you know how Long to Beat breaks it down by what,
Yeah, it's like completionist and then like regular beat time.
Well, they also show like which system it was done on.
Oh, okay.
And so they both have multiple entries for iOS and PC and unlisted. One of them, the average is 9 hours and 38 minutes. The other one is 5 hours and 33 minutes. But that's only based on one person. So I think that one person just is retarded and he put his thing in the wrong spot.
Tell that retarded person to go home.
He probably already was.
Oh, okay.
All right, so I played WarioWare Touch. So 6.2 patch notes, because this is on my list somewhere.
Is it?
Yeah.
We're just gonna skip straight to news because I want to complain about something for about 5 minutes.
5 minutes?
Okay, two minutes. 2 minutes.
We're making a WoW exception here because patch notes just got released and they announced 6.2. But tell me what is this concerning? Is this a class change?
Yeah, it's monk changes.
Oh Jesus!
We're getting
monk changes.
Fucking.
Can I talk about the mage change?
Yeah, sure.
They're removing Amplify Magic.
What the fuck is that?
It made all party and raid members heal better for like 6 seconds, like 20% better.
Oh, that was a neat raid.
It was like
cooldown.
the only way that I could feel useful in a raid.
Are they?
They're just removing it.
Are they removing other pure DPS? Oh yeah, they are. They're removing all of the DPS, pure DPS raid cooldowns because Aspect of the Fox is also being removed.
Oh, I heard about that. Someone in my LFR last night mentioned that, but I have no idea what Aspect of the Fox is. So
it's basically Spirit Walker's Grace for the entire raid.
Oh, so you can move while casting?
Yep.
Yeah, they removed Amplify Magic, Arcane, whatever. My Mastery's getting buffed, and Brain Freeze now has a 15% increased chance to trigger on each multi-strike down from 25. I probably won't really notice that at all, but I got that's nerf. That's a nerf, Blizzard.
Can I tell you about all of the nerfs that I just got? Let me tell you about them.
It seems like I think there might be a lot. If you're
Blackout Kick now deals 30% less damage. Tiger Palm now deals 30% less damage. Fist of Fury now deals 30% less damage. Hurricane Strikes now deals 30% less damage.
Dude, apparently you were OP.
I wasn't though.
You were.
They toned down all of the abilities that make me decent at single target, and now I'm fucking shite at single target.
Shit. Well, switch mains.
I'm gonna jump off a bridge. This is okay. So there's 2 changes in here that make me think that maybe this is to make up for it. Tiger Strikes, which is the buff you get when you Tiger Palm, gives you a 40% increase to multi-strike chance.
That'll help.
And then
that means that like almost half the time. Well, it's increased 40.
Increased by 40 while active, and you keep it up all the time. So I essentially have.
In addition to what you already have, you're basically half of your moves. Like your blackout kick, more than half the time is going to get a multi-strike, which means it's going to wind up doing 50% extra damage.
It's probably even more than that because I don't know how the math works out. But with I already favor high multi-strike in the first place.
Your team multi-strike too?
Yeah, I'm team multi-strike.
Me too. Sweet.
It's fucking dope. High five over the internet. Yeah, so I already have high multi-strike, so I wonder if I'm just gonna multi-strike on literally every blackout kick, and that's why.
Yeah, I think so.
The other change is Tiger Eye Brew, which is the thing that you drink every 10 stacks. Has upped his damage by 4%. So I wonder,
is it per count? Like you have the 10, and then that's 40 extra? No, that's crazy.
You're supposed to pop it when you have.
That's just effect duration. The number of ticks.
I think I should know how to play my class. I think what happens is every stack
roll.
Every stack provides. It used to provide 6% damage, and so if you consume 10 stacks, you have 60% damage buff. So now it's up to 100. Or now it's up to 10%. So
you get just double damage for a period of time.
I guess so. Yeah.
I don't know.
Maybe.
It sounds like you shouldn't be as mad as you are.
I don't know, man. I don't like when I see a 30% wide fucking nerf.
That is jarring.
All of my abilities. Except for Rising Sun Kick. Apparently that one's fine, even though it hits like a truck. Who cares?
Yeah. Everyone's got to have an ability that hits like a truck.
I don't know.
I'm the master. My class is burst damage.
Yeah.
Frost Mage is burst damage to the class. Mm-hmm. So
burst damage to the class. Yeah.
Sometimes you just got to have that truck ability, that Mac truck ability, to just run people over with.
Well, your mastery is now 13% more effective. That's nice.
Mastery was never that important. That is the least bursty damage of my burst damage.
Oh, okay.
Although I'm not looking at gift horse in the mouth. Although I don't know why they took out Amplify Magic. That's just a.
I think they took out all of the DPS, pure DPS raid wide cooldowns, so you don't just bring hunters and mages and shit like that. That's my guess.
So I'm just so sick of them making changes for things because of things that I don't do in this game.
What do you mean?
They're like, oh well, it affects the people who are choosing a raid team in real life. I'm just I just do LFR. Let me use it.
I guess, yeah.
And just oh well, this ability was too OP in PvP. It's I don't PvP. Let me use it.
I mean, realistically, it's kind of against Blizzard's design philosophy. They should have added raid-wide cooldowns for other classes instead of just taking out.
Maybe they'll bring it back when they have one for everybody.
Maybe, yeah.
I would like more utility, please. I mean, I like just blasting deeps at bosses' face.
Yeah.
Especially now that my single target DPS has been improved greatly by Water Jet. A skill that I've been waiting an entire expansion for. Mm-hmm. But having Amplify Magic just so I could feel like I was helping was really nice, and I want them to bring it back.
Yeah.
There's some other thing. I saw someone else on Twitter. She was complaining about Amplify Magic.
Oh, good.
It's just weird. I feel like it's this sort of thing where it's happened before. They say, "Oh, this ability is too good in PvP, so we had to remove it." Mm-hmm. Or, we had to change this ability completely because it was good in PvP. And I'm like, I don't care. I don't play PvP, so this doesn't affect me, and I want you to change it back. But yeah, so we're reading the 6.2 patch notes. 6.2 content patch, 6.2 patch notes on the public test realm. So these are still subject to change.
Christ.
But 6.2 is coming, and they're adding a couple interesting features. We're talking about the World of Warcraft. If I don't think we properly explained that.
I think I did.
Ryan got a little ranty there. I forgot to segue properly.
Yeah.
I also forgot that we were doing a podcast for a second. I was talking to you about WoW.
Yeah, no, that's fine. That's how it's supposed to work. That's what we're supposed to do. We're supposed to be natural and good.
So we're getting a new raid.
Yeah, we are.
The Hellfire Citadel.
Okay, so what I can't remember is that's the one where it's the end. It's not.
What?
So there was a lot of talk about maybe this is an expansion with 2 raid tiers, which would mean we would have to fight. What's his name? What's the orc's name? The bad one.
Kel'Thuzad?
No. No. The fucking.
Who's
the
so
bad
funny.
guy? Who's the bad guy? This expansion.
Who's not not Garrosh Hellscream? Because that guy's dead.
It's Grom. It's Grom.
Oh, okay.
And
is it Grom?
It is Grom. I'm reading here that we're not fighting Grom, which means that we're having 3 raid tiers this expansion. Officially.
Well, it's the first raid tier, High Mall, and Blackrock Foundry?
Yep.
So this next one's going to be a different raid tier?
Yep.
Like, Hellfire Citadel is different. What is the defining feature of having separate raid tiers? Like,
what do you mean?
Like, what's the difference?
It'll be
just the
higher
tier
eye level.
The armor sets. Well, yeah, I mean, the 2 we have now are different item levels, which is why I was asking.
But only one drops tier. So, like, only Blackrock Foundry drops tier, and therefore, that's the first tier. It was the same way in Mists of Pandaria, where they had the Heart of Fear, which dropped tier, and then like the Mogashan Vaults, which I think also dropped tier, but it was like the rest of the items were a different level. It was just that.
Mogashan Vaults. Well, then they had Terrace the Endless Spring and Heart of the Swarm. What is it called? Swarm something?
Heart of the Swarm. Yeah, that's a thing.
That's Heart of the Swarm is like a Warcraft 2 or a StarCraft 2 expansion.
Oh, whatever. I don't know.
Well, anyways.
Either way, doesn't matter.
They were the same item level, but they were basically the same raid. Like, you could have just kind of grouped them together because they flowed directly into the other one. Mm-hmm. I could have sworn Grom was a good guy in Warcraft 3.
No.
Who was the guy who was a good guy in Warcraft 3?
Thrall.
No, there was a Hellscream who was like the Blademaster character in the Orc campaign.
I don't know.
I swear to God it was Grom.
It's Grom, right? It has to be.
But then you're saying Grom's a bad guy now.
He's a bad guy in this context, yeah. I think so. I don't fucking know. Anyway, we're having another tier. We're having 3.
All right.
That's the news.
I don't know where you're getting that from, but cool.
Holy shit, 13 bosses.
Yep, 13 bosses in Hellfire Citadel.
Fuck.
And they're adding a new building to your...
oh, yeah, we
you
boats
get
now.
boats in your garrison. And then you can also go to the Tanan Jungle.
Also, am I reading this correctly that there's another resource for boats? There's boat resources?
I didn't get that from what I read, but maybe.
Oh. It's not here, but I read that somewhere, and it said shipyard resources. I don't know, whatever. There's mythic
dungeons. I was going to mention that and how you felt about that. So, what item level are you getting from your you still running normal Blackrock Foundry?
We do normal Blackrock, which is I think it's 670 gear. Yeah, it's 670. Hold on, let me look at. I'll look at something. I think it's 670 though, or 675.
Hey,
it might be 675.
Thank you, WoW Wiki. Right here, second line.
670.
Grom acts as a key protagonist during Warcraft 3 and functions as the main antagonist of Warlords of Draenor. Thank you. I have everything I need. I was like, dude, I'm not going to be able to find the information I need. It's going to take so long. Thank you. Perfect. That's weird.
Thanks, Internet.
That's great. I really been meaning to go back and brush up on my Warcraft 3 lore stuff. It's super interesting,
Yeah,
especially now
I just
that
I just
like
don't
we're
care.
in the period of time, like Warlords of North takes place in the period of time that Warcraft 3 kind of happened during, kinda. So I'd be really curious to go back but the campaign in that game is long as fuck.
So I'm reading the past
So the
notes for
question,
Mythic
I
Dungeons.
missed to answer your question. What level gear are you getting?
670.
Because apparently
670.
Mythic Dungeons give 680, or potentially the final boss can drop a 700 level piece.
So level 700 is current Mythic item level for Blackrock Foundry. 680. I think heroic gear is 685. Yes, heroic is 685. No, Mythic is 685. What?
This is going to sound weird.
Hold on.
But I'm super excited for Mythic Dungeons, even though I fully acknowledge I may never do them.
Oh, yeah, you probably won't. Oh, yeah, no, Mythic Blackrock is 700. So, yeah.
So I think it's super cool because I love dungeons. Like, I love 5-man dungeons. I was so happy that they added the ends of what were the ones they added with the Deathwing raid? The heroic ones. You know what I'm talking about, though?
Yeah, I don't know.
The time ones.
The time ones.
Stuff.
It was time.
Those ones,
timey-wimey stuff.
That is possibly my favorite content in the entire World of Warcraft. But that's just like my opinion, man.
Yeah. I ran those fucking to death.
I ran them a lot. I just thought they
every
were super
character
interesting. I love anything that involves time in general.
I thought they were
great.
great.
I just thought that they were fun and the bosses were cool and that's legit.
Those are great dungeons.
So I love me and 5-man dungeons go way back. I love 5-man dungeons, but I probably never do Mythic Dungeons, especially if it's like requires me to talk to weird people.
See, this is the thing that I've always wanted to exist, is like you can get raid quality gear from a 5-man. Because it's way easier to get 5 of your friends to play WoW than it is to get 15 of your friends to play WoW.
Let's do it.
Yep.
I have to get an alliance
find
level 90.
2 more people.
I already have a level 90. You're right.
You mean 100? Apparently, the legendary ring quest is going to be done.
They're just going to wrap that shit up, huh?
6.2. That's what it says. It says finish the legendary ring.
All right, let's finish the legendary ring.
That's all it says.
I because I can't exactly count on you to make a character that is not Alliance. No. So I got to get either my Shaman or my Death Knight, which are 2 characters I'm interested in playing. Get my Shaman up there and heal. Well, I know someone who plays Alliance, and we both know someone else who plays Alliance, and we only need one person.
Okay.
It is decided.
Done.
I think
I'm still butthurt about
you'll
monk
see
changes, but whatever.
in time if it's really worth getting butthurt over. I think it's too early to call. And like I said, it's not final anyways.
Yeah, maybe. I have to listen to Monk Meditation this week when they talk about it. Because the nice thing about that podcast is that they really get into the fucking maths.
So fun. So fun.
It's great.
Oh, man. Dude, we forgot to talk about anything else.
So fun.
Yeah, but there's stuff that I can't, if we don't mention it. Okay,
shit.
I'm going to have to do the good old-fashioned rapid-fire news round. You know what's up.
Rapid
Start with Nintendo,
news.
the newsmakers. All right, welcome to the Bear vs. Man Gaming Minute, presented by Nintendo, the newsmakers.
Nintendo, please sponsor our podcast. We really appreciate your support. Thank you.
Splatoon's not going to have voice chat. They were like, hey, let's put voice chat in the game. And someone's like, but what if someone says a bad word? And like, oh, you right. And they just took it out.
What if someone says
like,
penis?
Oh, you're right, bad words exist. We're not going to put it in the game anymore.
Yeah, fuck
Ridiculous. I've said all there is to say about that.
Right.
I think that it's going to be really weird having a heavily competitive game that doesn't have voice chat. Like, it seems a little bit doomed. But it also, it's got one-player mode and stuff. That game seems like it could be fun.
Yep, pretty much.
Right. New Destiny expansion. May 19th, I think, is the date. And it's not going to have a raid in it.
Whatever.
Yeah, you don't care. I wrote something about that website. So you want to see how I feel about raiding
I saw that.
in Destiny, go read that shit. Spoiler alert, I don't care, and I prefer it this way. I'm looking forward to the expansion because they're apparently going to have you get better gear in different ways, like upgrade your existing gear in a new way. I'm really curious to see how they do that because they didn't do it great last time. We talked about Hearthstones on phones. We already talked about WoW. Sonic 2, Gunstar Heroes, and Streets of Rage 2 are coming to 3D Remaster on 3DS. That's cool. Sonic 2 in 3D?
Sure.
Actually, the 3D part isn't important. I like Sonic 2.
Okay.
Like, it's a fun game. You're being really, really dismissive with my news right now. I don't really appreciate it.
Okay.
Sorry. Let's talk about how you do like a little bit less damage in the World of Warcraft instead. Would that make you happier? I hate you.
Yeah, let's.
Call of Duty Black Ops 3 confirmed to 2015 release.
Here, I have news.
What news do you have?
Nobody was surprised. I have news.
That is not news. That already
GameStop
happened.
to start buying, selling retro consoles and games. Yes, it is. No, this was published on April 15th by some guy named Eddie on GameSpot.com.
This is not the first time this has come up.
This is new news.
No, so they mentioned that they were going to do it eventually. They just probably didn't have a date for it.
Sure it is.
I'm saying I'm pretty sure they had a date for that already.
Hey,
like, they didn't have a date. They said they were going to do it
rapid-fire
eventually,
news.
but they didn't have a date. Is all I'm saying. All right, how about Guitar Hero Live? It's an FMV game. It's the craziest thing ever.
FMV game.
Told me about Guitar Hero Live, and I said
1997's back.
It would be like an FMV game or something? That's retarded. And it is. They like recorded like people playing music and people at a concert.
It's very
and
dumb.
then when you play Guitar Hero Live, they just show you those people at a concert. And it's like, dude, it's like you're really at a concert. And it's like, oh, this could be really bad. But yeah, I don't know. They changed it. They're releasing a new guitar. There's zero backwards compatibility. New guitar, 6 buttons that are like on top of each other. So it's like 2 rows of 3. So that could be interesting.
Yep, it's dope.
Yeah, that's kind of cool.
I've read that it
kinda
feels
did their
more
research,
like
but
natural guitar
I also
chord
read
shapes, which I'm
something
kind
about
of excited about.
Guitar Hero, like a TV streaming service almost. That like you like turn on like the like you turn on the game and you go to like Guitar Hero TV and they show you you're like I want to play the alternative rock station, and then they start playing like a music video that you can play Guitar Hero over on alternative rock station. And if you don't like that one, you can switch to a different channel or something like that. We're getting a lot more details about it at E3 this year, they said. Like pretty much it's probably going to come out this year, and we're probably going to learn everything we need to know at E3, so we'll figure it out then. We already know that it's going to be $100 for the game and the guitar controller. Which, yeah, that doesn't seem like enough, honestly. I feel like they're going to get more money from us somehow.
That's fine.
They're going to be like, oh, yeah, by the way, you like this Guitar Hero TV thing?
Yeah.
Well, now it's a subscription-based service. Give us more money. We're Activision.
Probably somehow.
That would be a huge bummer. So I hope that doesn't happen. But I don't know. Like I said, I think $100 for the whole thing is a little bit low. Bummer. So I feel like something else is going on. Yep. So, but we'll see. We're gonna find out more at E3. But I mentioned Black Ops 3 before. It's set in a dark, twisted future. Activision is calling it the deepest and most ambitious Call of Duty game ever, which I think they say every year. And it may also be true every year, but still. It sounds like it takes place like farther in the future than Black Ops 2, and that might mean everybody gets a jetpack,
maybe,
like they did in Advanced Warfare, but I hope they don't do that. I just really want a Call of Duty game again. Like, I will accept substitutes at this point, because
the jetpack was bad, and it made me feel bad.
A very unique game, in my opinion. It did new things that the series has. It took leaps that the series never did before, but I didn't want them to do that. It's like making a Mario game where he rides a spaceship like the whole time. And it's like, well, this game's kind of fun, but I just wanted a Mario game. I just wanted to jump on a Goomba. I just wanted to play Call of Duty.
Right.
So I'd find they could, if they wanted to make Black Ops 3 and put jetpacks in it,
right,
I'd be okay with it. If they also made an HD re-release of Modern Warfare 2. Yep. Oh, that would be way more acceptable than just making Black Ops 3 normal. Although Black Ops 2 was one of my favorites, so if they made
and just play
that game again with tweaks and no jetpacks, I would be very happy with that as well. But this is going to be the first year for a little while that I think about maybe not pre-ordering like the deluxe edition with all the season pass and everything, because I've been doing that for like a while. I definitely will. I'm still trying to get my friends to play Titanfall 1 because it was on sale on BestBuy.com for like $13 this
just
past
play
week.
Titanfall 2.
And then you get it and you bring it home and they give you all the DLC for free. And you feel like you literally just robbed someone. You got such a good deal on video games. But
man, that's a great price for that.
I like Titanfall. I'd much sooner play Titanfall than Advanced Warfare. Advanced Warfare isn't fun for me. Last bit of news. Remember that game Crawl? Apparently, in a build that they've been working on, if you upgrade your monster a certain tree, because you upgrade like the skeleton tree, you upgrade it a certain way, you can become Gabe Newell. Isn't that awesome? And there's a GIF floating around of the in-game animation. It's hilarious.
Fuck.
And apparently they announced this, cool. And then Valve was like, "Hey, you're all right.
I bet.
You're cool." Yeah, because it wasn't like them. Remember that whole thing a couple months ago about the guy who, like, Valve pulled their game from Steam, so he's just like, "I'm going to kill Gabe Newell."
That's fucking good. And
they're just like, or no, well, something happened, or no, it didn't update properly or something, or it was unavailable temporarily. So he's like, "I'm going to kill Gabe Newell." They're like, "All right, well, then you can't be on Steam anymore." He's like, "Oh, I'm sorry, I was just kidding. Just a joke."
It was the other way around, I think. Yeah.
Responding to weird things from developers in different ways is very important. And this is a weird good thing. And I'm glad that they were like, "Yeah, sure, that sounds cool." So, is that game even out yet, or is it still early access? All right, well, I'm gonna wait for that game to come out and just play it again. I think that game is really fun. It's another great.
I think
one of
it's
those good
still
old-fashioned
in early access
4-player couch co-op PC games
is.
that very small percentage of the gaming community actually has a chance to do. But if you can, it's super fun. Hey Ryan, should I buy Story of Seasons? Story of Seasons is this crazy thing. Came out March 31st. Yep. It's Harvest Moon. And I'm not saying it's Harvest Moon-like. It's literally Harvest Moon.
Yeah.
For whatever reason, Natsume decided that they didn't want to keep producing Harvest Moon games in America.
You should,
so a different company said, all right, well, we'll do it then.
It's just...
And then somebody's like, well, you can't call it Harvest Moon because we own that. Like, all right. Story of Seasons. Boom. I don't know how I expect anyone to know that, though. It took me quite a bit of searching to find that. Although there's a trailer out there that makes it pretty clear. They're just like, they show all the Harvest Moon games, and they're just like Harvest Moon 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 10 and 15 and 24 and then Story of Seasons. Mm-hmm. Just to kind of make it obvious. But apparently there's like 4 3DS Harvest Moon games. I just want to play a portable Harvest Moon. Apparently the last one that came out was like a shitty Minecraft-like or something.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So this one sounds like a real game, so I might just buy it. I might download it.
Oh, good. Yeah.
Because I definitely don't have enough games to play already.
Oh, that's gross.
Oh, that's not even remotely true. I got 500 games, and that's only on Steam. Right, you gonna write something this week?
You don't.
All right, I might. I've actually been having more success writing about like random things that come up, as opposed to trying to something like you've been doing, like trying to tell myself like, I'm gonna write about this week.
Yeah.
This how hard it is. Dude, did I get a Mewtwo email yet?
Yeah, I'm supposed to write about DuckTales, but fuck, that game's really hard. So I might just write about that. It's fucking hard.
That's your Throwback Thursday thing?
I don't know. It's fucking hard.
Yeah.
Like, that might just be the whole review. I just post a picture,
I'd read that.
Like a gif of me dying
I'd read that gif
100 times, and then I write, this is hard, and then...
Yeah, I'm gonna... I have a couple of different plans of things to write, but I have to wait for
play another game
to inspire me. I've been having more fun. Like I said, I'm having more fun writing about random shit.
I'd read that GIF. I already spoiled it. It's all over.
So I'm okay with that. You have stuff coming every week because of you. So then like bonus Nick article. Yeah, we'll see if anything
that's how you do.
noteworthy happens this week, or if I finally, I'll probably write something about Oceanhorn when I'm done playing it. I might play that like
bonus Nick article.
Now.
Yeah, so good.
But this has been a presentation of the Bear vs. Man cast.
You should.
Ryan, tell them how to contact us.
Hey. Great.
No judgment. Whichever one you want is fine.
Truth. Okay, so there's an email address.
It's fine.
You can go to your email client of choice and email us at
VS Man.
If you got Hotmail, that's still
VS
okay.
Man.
That's still all right. You maybe it's all right. Okay.
We are Bear vs. Man.
Bear vs. Man Gaming at gmail.com. That's Bear vs. Man.
You should just like, oh shit, what's the name of the website? I gotta look it up.
We're on bearversusman.com.
Simple enough.
A website where you can go. We're on it. I'm on it right now.
You can figure out some way to give us for more than 5 stars. Man, you're going to be our favorite.
Bearversusman.com. Bearvsman.com. We're on iTunes. We like ratings that are 5 or more stars.
Yeah, I mean, that's how people find out about this. Like, you can look up, like...
We'll take it.
Especially for some bear-related content, you find this website.
You can go to...
that's most likely not going to happen.
I don't know. Tell your friends about us.
We're on Facebook and Twitter, so it's like pretty easy to just fire off a link or whatever, and then your friend knows about us. It's mostly I tweeted some
you need to
things about how
tell your friends.
I had a tweet I found online that I had us share about how Hillary Clinton is coming to Smash Brothers.
Yeah,
Did you see that funny thing that was just like Sakurai was like, hey, we tallied all your votes, and fuck you guys, Dark Classic Pit is coming, never ask me for anything again. I was rolling, dude. That was hilarious.
Oh, good. I'm excited.
That's not inappropriate to share weird things like that through Bear vs. Man, right? I mean, I'd like to think that Bear versus
Yeah.
Man is a kind of a laid-back, laissez-faire sort of, we don't answer to anybody sort of thing.
I thought
Like,
that was
Post
pretty
whatever.
Funny.
Get into fights with trolls.
No,
We don't care.
No, it's good. No, it's good.
You fed the trolls, Ryan. You did. You did. Anyways. Is that all the
I don't have
contact
any
stuff? Bear vs Man, at Bear vs Man on
Yeah.
Twitter. Look for Bear vs Man on Facebook. Links to all that stuff are on our website as well.
No, I don't do that. Oh, yeah, I did. That's all right.
Yeah, or
Whatever.
yo-yos.
Ryan doesn't care.
Yeah, you'll probably be able to figure out if you're viewing the website about video games or the website about yo-yos pretty quickly, I would think.
Yeah, if you just put Bear versus Man into stuff, you'll probably find us.
Yeah, that's what we're looking for. We don't want more people at our website
Or yo-yos,
listening
but
to our
hey, who
podcast.
cares?
We want just mass infusion. All right, that's been it for the Mass Confusion cast.
Yeah. That'll do it for the Bear vs. Man cast. Yeah. That's it. We're done. All right, bye.